Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 494. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is titled Purpose and Pain Are Inseparable. Purpose and pain are inseparable. Many current and prospective entrepreneurs live an ordinary life or a life of insignificance or even a life of unfulfillment because they don't understand how to tap into their purpose and live the life they were designed to live. On today's show, I'm going to discuss how purpose and pain are inseparable, and I'm also going to decode the path to living your purpose by giving you tips to make a living while living in your purpose. I said this at the beginning of 2023, guys. Every show that I'm doing, I want it to be super impactful. So if you're listening to this, I don't care if you're jogging, lifting weights, you're at work right now with your headphones on, you're in the car on your way to a job that you don't want to go to, you need to listen to this episode. Purpose and pain are inseparable because if you're not living in your purpose, then you're living by default. And we're going to give you some tips today that are going to help you turn around whatever you're doing and start to live in your purpose. Before we get to today's content, I just want to share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the link to BEB Academy, which is our online learning portal. You can get 3 days free access to the Academy and everything in the Academy, such as master classes, online courses, PDF downloads, and resources to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. That's the website. And just click on BEB Academy and get 3 days free access. I also want to do a promotion to one of my flagship programs that actually coincides with this episode. So we're talking about purpose in life. One of my most transformational programs is called Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius, which coincides with today's show. Your genius is the intersection of your passion and your talent. The problem is most people don't know how to monetize that. So your genius can be basically described as your purpose. Normally, the program goes for $247 investment. We're going to take $150 off the investment for the first 10 people that enroll to make the investment only $97. Guys, pound for pound, this is my best program because it's life-changing and transformational. And we're going to talk about in the program taking all your gifts, your talents, your genius, and learning how to monetize that genius. So if you go to the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, you'll see at the top of the website, Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius. Click on that link, and when you click the link, you can look at the video, you can read everything about the program, and then when you go to enroll, use the promo code PURPOSE, all lowercase letters, PURPOSE, PURPOSE, and that will give you a $150 discount to bring the investment to down to only $97. And I'm telling you right now, if this program touches you today, if you're not living in your purpose or your genius, please be one of the first 10 people to take advantage of this promotion. BlackEntreprenneurBlueprint.com. Go to the website, go to Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius. Click on it. You can look at the video. You can read everything there. When you enroll, use the coupon code PURPOSE, PURPOSE, all lowercase letters to get the promo, and that's good for the first 10 people that enroll. Now, let's get ready for today's show content. Purpose and pain are inseparable. On today's show, I'm going to talk about several things. Why most people don't live in their purpose, what are the benefits of living in your purpose, and then I'm going to give you steps to actually take so you can live in your purpose. So the first thing I want to do is I want to read a quote by a gentleman named Bruce Bryans. And the quote says, "The man without a purpose is neither master of his fate nor the captain of his soul. He is merely a minion, a pawn, and a tool for men and women who know what they want out of life and who are determined to get it." I'm going to reread this. This is powerful. "The man without a purpose is neither master of his fate nor captain of his soul. He is merely a minion, a pawn, and a tool for men and women who know what they want out of life and who are determined to get it." So when you're not living in your purpose, that means you're living in somebody else's purpose. Okay, you're devoid of purpose. And it's unfortunate because many of us, myself included, at a certain period of time, all I was concerned about was maintaining. I was concerned by making sure my bills were paid. I was just focused on that, trying to survive. And what I call surviving is living by default, meaning whatever the wind blows, that's what you're going to do because you don't have a purpose in your life that you're shooting for. Here's another quote by Wayne Dyer, and that says, "When you stay on purpose and refuse to be discouraged by fear, you align with the infinite self in which all possibilities exist." I'm going to repeat that. When you stay on purpose and refuse to be discouraged by fear, you align with the infinite self in which all possibilities exist. Guys, I'm going to tell you from personal experience, and I'm going to give you some real life experiences during today's episode about the difference between living your purpose and also just living by default. Okay, now here's the big problem. Purpose and pain are inseparable. They are inseparable. When you go for your purpose, there's going to be pain attached to it. That pain could be not having enough money. That pain could be people not believing in you. That pain could be losing your home. That pain could be losing your spouse, your partner, or whatever. So there's pain involved. If you look at many people who are super successful, they had a very painful journey. So I listened to an interview with Tyler Perry. This was years ago, but he talked about living in his car. He went out to Los Angeles with no money, and he started living in his car before he became successful. The singer Madonna, I heard her story one time, and she did the same thing. She was living in her car. Dead broke, didn't know how she was going to eat, turned into a superstar. Tyler Perry became a black billionaire. All of these stories had pain involved. The difference between people living in their purpose is that they're willing to walk through that fire. They're willing to walk through that pain in order to get to the purpose. You see, it's very easy to quit. And so quitting takes absolutely no action whatsoever. All you have to do is make a quick decision in your head. You know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I quit. And so that is the easiest thing to do in life, is quit, because it takes absolutely no effort, energy, or action. So today we're going to talk about purpose and pain are inseparable. And the first thing I want to talk about is why most people don't live in their purpose. Okay. This is a question that I actually asked my pastor years ago. And I said, Pastor, why don't you think people are living what they're supposed to be or what they're designed to do? And he said simply, too much debt. He said, bills keep you hustling for the almighty dollar as opposed to focusing on what your purpose is. And I said, man, I never really thought about that. But just think about your life. You may have a mortgage, car payments, student loans, food, kids, whatever, daycare. And so you're always focusing on that debt, hitting that monthly nut. So you can't even focus on what you were designed to do or be, because all you're worrying about is managing and maintaining your status quo and being able to live and handle that monthly debt. And the Bible even talks about the debtor is a slave to the lender. So when we're over leveraged and we have to keep hustling and we can't focus on what's truly important to us, then that takes us away from being able to live your life purpose. Another reason people don't live in their purpose is they don't have passive income or cash reserves to work in your purpose. So just imagine if you had an annuity that paid you $10,000 each month. Now, for some people, that may not be enough, but for most people, that probably would be a decent income. If you had an annuity that paid you every month $10,000, that means you could focus on whatever you were designed to do by the Creator, right? So you don't have the passive income or cash reserves to work on your purpose. I tell my oldest daughter all the time about creating that passive income because she's super creative and she always talked about telling our stories, content creation, screenwriting, just telling the stories that need to be heard in our community. And I always told her, I said, if you had passive income, you could be able to work on your screenplays or your writing or whatever you're trying to create, and you wouldn't have to worry about paying your bills. So another reason people don't live in their purpose is they don't have passive income or cash reserves to work on your purpose. Now, here's one that's actually surprised me when I talk to people. A lot of people don't even know their purpose. You know, they're so busy living their life, they haven't even taken the time to figure out what has God put me here to do. So many people don't know their purpose. And if you're one of those people, today's show is going to help you out because I'm going to give you some tips and some steps to help you find out what your purpose in life is. And the last reason I want to talk about why people don't live in their purpose is because they're scared to make changes in their life. Many people are scared of change. There's a quote that I live by, and I've talked about this on the show before, but it says, change is never made until the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change. I'm going to repeat that. Change is never made until the pain of staying the same, doing what you're already doing, outweighs the pain of change, meaning it outweighs the unknown. So when you're sitting in that pot and that water starts getting too hot, you're like, you know what? Before I get boiled, I got to jump out and I don't care what's on the other side because I know I can't stand this anymore. So many of us are scared to make changes in your life until it gets to the point that you don't have any other option. So these are some of the reasons why people don't live in their purpose. And like I said, I call it living by default. You're just going along with getting along to get along, and you're not focusing on what your purpose is. You may not know what your purpose is. You may be scared. You don't have enough resource to actually go out and pursue your purpose. So these are some of those reasons. Let me give you a real life example from a BEB family member that reached out to me several years ago, and such an amazing, beautiful young lady. And she used her pain to unlock her purpose. And I'm not going to divulge any names or anything for privacy reasons, but she reached out to me and she was trying to do something for children and women that were abused. And she shared her story that she had grown up in foster homes throughout her young life. And in several of those homes, she was abused. And so what she did was she took that pain and now she's working with, counseling, and helping other young women who've been abused in their life. So sometimes your pain actually unlocks your purpose. Not that you want to go through that, but she took that and now she's actually living in her purpose. And we talked about how you monetize that through different ways that enables her to really focus on her purpose, which is changing and helping these young ladies that have gone through this tragic situation. So when you don't have to focus on the money, then you can really dive in and focus on your purpose. And that's what we're talking about today. So we created some monetization opportunities for her in terms of books, learning materials, and things of that nature that would allow her to sustain herself while she actually focused on her purpose. And sometimes that pain unlocks your purpose. So that's a real life example of a young lady that took that pain and turned it into her purpose. And she's changing lives one life at a time. So we talked about why most people don't live in their purpose. Now, let's talk about what are the benefits of living in your purpose. The biggest thing to me is you actually have something to get up for. Have you been in a job or in a situation where you're just living by default? You're just going through the motions? When you're living in your purpose, guys, you have something to get up for in the morning. You're excited to get up and do whatever you're supposed to do because you're living in your purpose. So if you're listening to this and you're not living in your purpose, please pay attention, because we want you to transform and transition from living by default to living in your purpose. Another benefit of living in your purpose is you're more aligned. Your life is more aligned. You're doing what you were designed to do. Whatever, I don't care, whoever you call the God force, be it God, Allah, Buddha, Yahweh, whoever you want to call it. If you believe in a God force, your life is aligned because we all were created for something specific. Your brothers and sisters, you grew up in the same atmosphere, the same household, the same stimuli, the same everything, but you have different purposes in life. So you're more aligned, and that makes a big difference. When your life is aligned, things are much better. And another reason is you're generally more happy, guys, because you're following your natural path. When you're following your natural path, that once again is like alignment. That means you're doing what you're supposed to do. These are some of the benefits of living in your purpose. And when you get to that point, you'll know that. So, for example, with Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, I always knew that my purpose was to help my people. I've known that from a very young age. Now, I didn't know how that was going to happen, what was going to happen to uncover that, but I always knew that my job was to help my people. So I was living just like a lot of you who are listening to this right now. I lived life by default until something happened that changed. Now, I always knew, like I said, in the back of my mind, that I was designed to help my people, to lead my people. But I didn't know exactly how, where, when, and why. And so when I almost lost it all for the first time, I almost lost everything 2 times, and I was blessed to be able to come back both times and be able to build successful businesses. But the second time was the one that actually changed the trajectory of my life. So I had a very successful mortgage business, 50 plus employees, doing millions in revenue a year. Everything was rocking and rolling. Then the crash of 2007, 2008 came, and I almost lost it all. Home, cars, savings, reserves, everything. I'm talking about down and out, broke, busted, and disgusted. And so while I was laying on the couch trying to figure out how I was going to come back, I said there needs to be more purpose in my life, not just making money. And so I started Black Entrepreneur Blueprint not right after the crash, but about a couple years later, after I had gotten back on my feet a little bit. And I said, man, let me share my experiences as an entrepreneur to my community, where I can hopefully teach them some of the things that I learned by not doing what I did, right? So I never say that I'm a guru, right? I'm a do-ru. So everything I talk about is something that I've done, okay? I don't talk about theory and stuff like that, because there's a big difference between theory and practical application. So I had always counseled people on how to start businesses, how to market, through my whole life, because I was always an entrepreneur after I left corporate America. And I said, well, let me take that information that I have, that experience that I have, the know-how that I have, and share that with my people. And I focused on entrepreneurship because economics is the key to everything. Economics actually controls politics. It controls media, which controls the narratives. It controls education. So without economics, guys, it's rough out there. So I have a shirt that says there's no revolution without economics. So my job or my purpose is to help my people build an economic power base by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. And the reason that I actually found that out is because I almost lost it all twice. That's what I'm talking about. Purpose and pain are inseparable. That's today's show topic. I was down and out, looking at the ceiling, trying to figure out how I'm going to keep the electricity on. Looking outside, making sure they're not repossessing one of my cars. So I've been there, done that twice, and I damn sure don't want to go back again. So once again, guys, you have to understand that your purpose may come through your pain. Just like our young lady, the BEB family member, just like myself, I knew I was supposed to help my people. I knew I was supposed to lead in some form or fashion, but that revelation didn't come to me right away. But I'm going to teach you guys or give you some tips to hopefully uncover your purpose faster than I uncovered mine. All right. So we talked about why most people don't live in their purpose. What are some of the benefits of living in your purpose? Now I'm going to give you some steps to live in your purpose. Now, you may want to write this down, or you can go to the website and you can look at the show notes. So go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com and then you'll see episode number 494. Click on that and you'll be able to see the show notes. Okay. So step number 1, identify what your purpose is. Use a mind map to answer these 3 questions. So what we're doing is we're going to use a mind map. And basically what a mind map is you're writing down things that come to your mind and you want to put it on paper. Don't use a laptop or your phone. It's better if you use your physical paper, pen, or pencil, whatever you want, because it connects. If you write something down, it connects better than typing something on the screen. Okay. So identify what your purpose is. Use a mind map to answer these 3 questions. And I want you to write these down. Ask yourself, what were you put here to do? What were you put here to do? Okay. What were you put here to do? And you don't have to say something like I was put here to cure cancer. Okay. It could be something I was put here to help young people become better adults, whatever it is. I'm just making this up on the fly. Your purpose may be able to help. You may be looking to help black boys be productive black men. Okay. Things of that nature. All right. Now I'm going to tell you another story about pain turning into purpose for another BEB family member too. All right. So question number 1, ask yourself what you were put here to do. Question number 2, who am I supposed to serve? Who are you serving? That's what life is all about, guys. It's about service. So who do you want to serve? Do you want to serve abused women? Do you want to serve young boys? Do you want to serve the black community? Do you want to serve whoever? Who do you want to serve? Question 3, what impact do you want to have on others? What impact do you want to have on others? I want to help young boys stay out of the prison industrial complex by teaching them how to be productive citizens or whatever it is. Okay. So this is number 1. Step number 1, identify what your purpose is. Use a mind map to answer these 3 questions. And all you have to do is write down these questions and answers on a piece of paper. All right. The first question is, what were you put here to do? Question number 2, who am I supposed to serve? Question number 3, what impact can I have on others? All right. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, identify opportunities to combine monetization and your purpose and answer these 3 questions. All right. So same sheet of paper. Identify opportunities to combine monetization and your purpose and answer these 3 questions. Ask yourself, what are you good at? Okay. What are you good at? What do people say that you're good at? Are you good at helping people fix cars? Are you good at being an ear for people who have problems, that you listen? You're a great consultant. Whatever it is, what are you good at? Answer that question. And there's more than one answer, I'm sure of that. Okay. Number 2, what do you like to do? What do you like to do? Do you like to play? You like to play golf? Do you like to sew? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What do you like to do? Write down all the things that you like to do. And the third question is, what will people pay you for? What will people pay you for? I know it sounds kind of silly, but would somebody pay you to teach them how to fix a car? Would somebody pay you to teach them how to crochet? Would somebody pay you to counsel them or coach them? What will somebody pay you for? What will people pay you for? So step number 2, identify opportunities to combine monetization and your purpose and answer these 3 questions. Question 1, what are you good at? Just don't think about it in any other context. Just write the things that you're good at, okay? What do you like to do? Question number 2, what do you like to do? Do you like to sightsee? Do you like to go to museums? Just write down the answers, okay? And the third question, what will people pay you for? What are some of the things that you have or skills or talents or whatever that people will pay you for? Okay. If you like museums, do you think people would pay you if you gave them a tour of a museum? I live in Philadelphia. Throughout the years, I've been to all the historical places, elementary school, middle school, even high school. They take you to all these places. And I could show you a black tour of Philadelphia, taking you around to historical things for the black community. Would people pay me for that? Yeah, they probably would. If I love doing that, people could pay me for that. So these are some of the examples. Now, step number 3, create your purpose matrix. Now, a matrix is an environment or material in which something develops, a surrounding medium or structure. So in this case, your matrix would be another sheet of paper. And this is what I want you to do. Take all of those 6 questions I had and all of the answers you wrote down and put them on one sheet of paper and start mixing and matching the questions with the answers. Now, there's 6 questions, but you're going to have more than one answer, because one of the questions is, what do you like to do? So you like to do a lot of things. So you have the 6 questions and you have multiple answers. And what you want to do is you want to write all of that down on one sheet of paper, or you can just look at the 2 different sheets and you want to start mixing and matching the questions with the answers. And don't worry about how silly some of the stuff may sound when you start matching some of the answers with some of the questions. But what this is designed to do is to make you think. And you want to have it physically written out, so now you can go and you can mix and match. And so for many of us, we already know our purpose. So if you know your purpose, that's cool. But once again, one of the biggest reasons that we're not following or living in our purpose is because of the monetization aspect. We don't have the support, the monthly income, the passive income, the lack of debt to be able to go live in your purpose. So if you want to be an actor in Hollywood, you're going to have to make a living while you're trying to get acting jobs. You know your purpose is to be on stage. But the problem is you got to work a 9 to 5 and you're not able to focus on that. And so that's why I wanted to introduce you guys once again to pinpoint and monetize your genius. I'm just going to remind you that the promo is for the first 10 people to go on, and you go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Go to the website. At the top of the website, you'll see a link. You'll see a box that says pinpoint and monetize your genius, which is pound for pound my #1 program out there, because it's transformational, life transforming. Click on that. And when you enroll, if you're one of the first 10, just use the coupon code PURPOSE, PURPOSE, all lowercase letters. And we have 10 coupons available. So it's going to take your investment from $247 down to $97. Okay. It's a one-time investment, and 24/7, 365, you can access the online course. It has PDF downloads. It has actionable steps. And it's going to teach you and show you and actually put together the monetization of your genius/purpose, how you can live in your purpose and be able to make a living doing it. And that's the transformational piece, guys. So we talked about, number 1, why most people don't live in their purpose. Number 2, the benefits of living in your purpose. And number 3, I just went through the steps to live in your purpose. And those steps, again, are number 1, identify what your purpose is using the mind map. You had to answer the first 3 questions. Step 2 is identify opportunities to combine the monetization and your purpose. And I had 3 additional questions for that. That's really what Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius is. That really breaks it down, digs down deep to help you understand and figure out the monetization. And number 3 step was to create your purpose matrix. Okay, so it's a lot to take in. Number 1, make sure you go to the website if you want the show notes. And also, if you're serious about living in your purpose, make sure you go and check out Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius, which is on the blackentrepreneurblueprint.com website. Before we get to the last section of the show, I just want to share my contact information and resource links. Then I'm going to end with the story of another BEB family member that had to go through pain to find their purpose. So I mentioned at the top of the show, BEB Academy. Get 3 days free access to the Academy. Just go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Click on BEB Academy. Get 3 days free access. Also, I just talked about Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius. You got 10 free coupons. The first 10 people that enroll, your investment will only be $97. Go to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Top of the screen, you'll see Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius. Click on that. Make sure you use the coupon code PURPOSE, all lowercase letters. Now, if you want to connect with me, guys, anything long, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. That's JAYJONES at blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Twitter, jjones001, JAYJONES001. Instagram, I got 2 IG accounts. The first one is jjones for real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Second one is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Also, don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. Just go to J Jones Black Entrepreneur Blueprint and connect with me there. Also, YouTube. Make sure you go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, hit that subscribe button. We have additional content on YouTube that is not on the show. And for all you first-time listeners, the show drops every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on all your major podcast platforms and YouTube. So wherever you're watching or listening to this, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you'll be alerted when the new episodes drop. Now, all of that information I gave you can be found on the website, blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Just hit the About button. Under my bio will be all my social media links. And on the top of the page, you'll see Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius and BEB Academy. So those links will be there also. Now, let me get to the last section of the show. And I just want to share a quick story about another BEB family member who reached out to me years ago. And he's actually doing well. And I stayed in contact with him. My brother, Onay Chapman. And Brother Onay Chapman had an amazing story. We actually had him on the podcast several years ago. And he talked about growing up, not knowing his father. And now he's taken that pain. And now he has converted that pain to where he's out there making a difference in young men's lives. He's created an academy where he teaches. It's called the Young Kings Academy, I believe. And he's teaching young boys how to become men. That's taking his pain and unlocking his purpose. Tremendous, amazing story. This young brother is out there doing it, and he's making a difference in many, many lives. Purpose and pain are inseparable, family. So if you're searching for your purpose, just know that there's going to be pain along that path to get to that purpose. The question is, are you willing to go through that pain to get to your purpose? And now the pain can come in different forms. It can come in forms of not having money. It can come in forms of going through emotional trauma, physical trauma. Purpose and pain are inseparable. And once you recognize and understand that, you're one step closer to living your purpose. The Creator designed you for something special. He's giving you the ability, the assets, the qualities to complete that purpose. The question is, are you ready to take that journey? I want you guys to understand that the difference between living by default and living in your purpose is almost, you can't even quantify that. Because when you live in your purpose, you wake up every day, you're ready to get at it. You're excited. You know that you're doing what God has designed you to do. When you're living by default, that's when it gets hard. Oh, I got to get up and get to this job. Oh, I can't stand what I'm doing. I'm not fulfilled. I'm not reaching my maximum potential because you're not aligned. You have to understand and identify your purpose, and then you have to figure out a way to live in your purpose. And I hope today's show is super impactful for you. Now, those of you that are blessed to be living in your purpose, I know this is just confirmation. But those of you that are not living in your purpose have been thinking about it, or you may not have even thought about it. Because many times when I ask people what their purpose is, they don't know. And that's not a bad answer. They just haven't figured it out yet. And that's what today's show is all about, helping you figure out that purpose and pain are inseparable. So if you're going through pain right now, that may unlock or uncover what your true purpose is. Now, guys, I say this each and every week because it's true. We get more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. I appreciate you guys so much. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the blog, the website. Make sure you check out the website, guys, blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. We want that to be the website for Black entrepreneurs worldwide. We have tons of resources on the website to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. So just go to the website, hit resources, and there's all types of drop downs about marketing, e-commerce, scaling your business, mindset, strategy, everything to help you go from point A to point B. So make sure you utilize blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Now, remember, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.